We are back, folks, as this match gets underway. Fandango versus Big E Langston. And immediately they lock up, and Big E gets a slam. Now maybe Taunton trying to get in Fandango's head. Fandango. I'm probably going to say Fandango a bunch. Just because I'm all southern and stuff. But, anyway. Big E Langston immediately trying to overpower Fandango and trying to get into his head, taunting a little bit. Now Big E with a front face lock. Throws Fandango out of the ring. And at this point, I want to tell you, if you did not see the first part, go back and check it. It'll be under a playlist. Or it's the first video on my channel. So anyway, Big E Langston. Now Fandango with a nice block. Now Fandango going on the attack here. Nice side headlock. And Fandango looking for a vertical suplex. And he hits him pretty hard. And Fandango looking to straighten out. Maybe there's something wrong with the shoulder, but a nice block punch. Maybe just trying to lure Big E Langston in. Transition to a waist lock and a nice back suplex there. So now Fandango trying to build momentum. Maybe build some momentum and get a big win here over the Big E Langston. Again, these are two up-and-coming superstars. I'm glad Kane put this match together because it is going to be an exciting match, I believe. Anyway, Big E Langston now throwing Fandango into the ropes and now tossing him into the corner. Of course, now Big E will have the strength advantage. Fandango will have the power advantage. They're both about the same experience. Fandango may be more experienced by just a year or two in wrestling, but they're still, you know, fairly equal. One's not extremely, you know, advanced. So Big E with a nice backdrop and now trying to ground and pound Fandango, just punching him to the face here. Now Big E picking him up, trying to get control of this match. Grabs the arm, now he's dragging him over to the turnbuckle, it looks like. Yeah, he will put him in there and just getting a chance to hammer away. But now Fandango is able to reverse it. And no, Big E is able to get out of the way. It looks like Fandango is going for a stinger splash and a nice not a back body drop, a back suplex for Big E Langston. And Big E just slamming Fandango against the canvas. Now what's Big E thinking here? Oh, and Big E looking for that big back body drop. And he hits it. So a nice move there by Big E. Maybe looking to put this match away, and we'll have to see. Big E in control now. So what is Big E thinking? Whipping him into the turnbuckle now. Oh, and a nice shoulder tackle from behind. No, but Fandango with a nice elbow blocks it. And Fandango. Nice neck breaker there. Taunting, it might be a mistake. Maybe it is, because now he gave time for Big E to get up. But a nice kick there. Fandango with a cover. One. And a kick out by Big E. Hasn't really worn him down. Only warranted a 1 count there from the referee. And now Big E throwing Fandango. What a move there. He almost threw him halfway across the ring. And now Big E throwing him against the ropes. Ooh, and a nice shoulder tackle. Good shoulder tackle there. And now Big E. Another shoulder tackle. Two of those shoulder tackles. And now what's Big E thinking? Whipping him against the ropes again. And a third shoulder tackle. So 3 big shoulder tackles from Big E Langston. And now pounding his chest, trying to get the crowd fired up. Maybe looking for the big ending. And he is. And the big ending from Big E Langston. And Big E gets the cover. 1, 2, 3. A great win here for Big E Langston. Building momentum. Showing Kane that he wants an Intercontinental title match. Maybe get a PAWL Championship match in the future. It's so competitive here on Heatwave. And so Big E Langston is able to beat Fandango and what Kane built as 2 up-and-coming superstars. Fandango certainly will have a great future. But on tonight is Big E's night. And a nice one there. A pretty quick match. We had surprisingly 2 quick matches here. Maybe Kane has booked some lopsided matches. We'll have to see. Next match should be amazing as it pits Intercontinental Champion Antonio Cesaro versus Chris Jericho. We also have Evan Airborne versus Brock Lesnar and a 6-man over the top rope battle royal. And I'll get to that in a second as Michael Cole is now interviewing one of those participants. So CM Punk with some short words there. The normally outspoken CM Punk doesn't have much to say. I guess he's not wanting to come back and bite him. He just made it short and sweet. He's going to get the knees two faces, as his shirt used to say. And Brock Lesnar's going to get his knees two faces. Or his knee to the face or something. He ain't Daniel Bryan with the running knee lift. Of course, Daniel Bryan featured on Superstars of Today. And at this point in the broadcast, I want to remind you that no copyright infringement is intended. As you see, the Intercontinental Champion of PAWL, the Swiss sensation Antonio Cesaro. A great wrestler in professional wrestling. Not sports entertainment, folks. PAWL is not sports entertainment. It is professional wrestling. Anyway, back to the great matches tonight. We have Evan Airborne versus the PAWL champion Brock Lesnar. And we also have in our main event a 6-man over-the-top rope battle royal where the winner will go on to face Brock Lesnar at PAWL's first Click Per View No Surrender. Or No Forgiveness, excuse me, not No Surrender. No Forgiveness for the world title, the PAWL Championship. And it will be CM Punk, the man that you just heard from, versus John Cena, who was heard from earlier in the first part, where Zack Ryder also beat Heath Slater. And Kane set up all these great matches. Also in that match is Batista, Big Show, The Miz, and Randy Orton. It's going to be a great main event. Brock Lesnar and Evan Bourne will be a great main event, a great clash of styles. I mean, it's going to be very unlikely that Bourne ends up winning, but hey, with Evan Bourne, you never know. And this is going to be a great match here. Chris Jericho versus Antonio Cesaro. Two great wrestlers, both known for their in-ring ability, both having great matches. Even if it's not on PAWL, they still have great matches elsewhere. Chris Jericho, you know, he's been a ring veteran, 9-time Intercontinental Champion, you know. He probably wants to make it 10 here. Think about that, winning the same title 10 times. But Chris Jericho, if he can win tonight, he might be at that stacked talent to maybe challenge for the Intercontinental title. I tell you what, I don't want to be Kane right now, having to find a man to challenge Antonio Cesaro. I mean, even in the PAWL Championship picture, there's a lot of worthy challengers. I mean, as you see, Kane put 6 of them in a match. But especially with the Intercontinental title, it seems like everybody in PAWL Heatwave is worthy of a title shot. Anyway, we start off this match, Jericho immediately whipping Cesaro into the corner in a nice clothesline. So Jericho trying to build early momentum in this matchup. A drop kick, but no, Cesaro swats it out of the way. And now Antonio Cesaro front face lock. Dragging him into the corner. Punching him, and now a nice Irish whip. Cesaro ducks under it. And Cesaro, a nice slam there. And pulling for the pin already. 1 and a 1 count. Jericho's able to kick out. Of course, Jericho, a ring veteran, been in the wrestling business for over 20 years. In his 40s, Antonio Cesaro, I believe in his 30s, he's been around the ring as well. As I mentioned before, Chris Jericho, a 3-time world champion, 10-time Intercontinental Champion, and a tag team champion, as well as a television champion. Cesaro, at least on major wrestling shows, is a 1-time United States champion, but he's also run other titles as well. But now Jericho hits Cesaro, and of course Jericho has the age advantage, or I don't know if it's an advantage, maybe an experience advantage. He also has probably the speed advantage, although this Antonio Cesaro is very athletic, and he will have the strength advantage. He might be pound for pound the strongest guy. Definitely probably the toughest guy in professional wrestling today. And so anyway, Chris Jericho now Irish whipping him into the ropes, and Jericho throwing Antonio Cesaro, but he's able to hang on it. Now Jericho, a nice drop kicks him out of the ring. And now Cesaro's on the outside. He's just standing there, maybe looking to bait Jericho outside, which is what he does. And now Cesaro throwing Jericho up against the barricade. What strength? Oh, and a big right hand. And now just clobbering Jericho on the outside as the referee's counting. That was 6 or 7 right hands, and I tell you what, Jericho might not have had a good move taking Cesaro and putting him on the outside. Now Cesaro hits Jericho's head up against our announce table. Ref is up to 5. Cesaro throws Jericho back inside the ring. What is Jericho thinking? No, Cesaro, big right hand. And now Jericho with a side headlock. And Jericho throws him up against the turnbuckle. And now Jericho. It didn't work out that great for him, but he's doing it again. Looks like he's wanting to get him outside of the ring, and a nice drop kick there for Chris Jericho, Y2J. But now Cesaro again, throwing him up against the barricade. If you're on the outside only, sorry folks, I'm having a little bit of a headset issue. But now, ref is at 3. Sorry folks, I had a headset issue there. Ref is at 4, I believe, and Jericho's going to get back inside the ring. And here we go, they're going to get it on again. Cesaro, raking the eyes. Now Antonio Cesaro. Looks like he was trying to do a hot shot or something on Chris Jericho, but Jericho just counters with a straight forearm, which almost wins every time, just a straight forearm. And now Jericho, maybe that's what he was trying to do on the outside. A nice float over neck breaker from Chris Jericho. Of course, Jericho likes to utilize the walls of Jericho, the Boston Crab, and the double knees to the face code breaker. Cesaro likes to use that lifting European uppercut, a German soup, well, a very good, a very different, maybe not good, a different kind of German throw, and also that neutralizer. And so anyway, now Cesaro with a waist lock. Half of this match has been spent outside the ring. But anyway, now Cesaro with a big throw up against Jericho, and he comes out groggy, but Jericho able to counter, and a nice right hand to the back of Antonio Cesaro, the Intercontinental Champion, and a big uppercut there, groggy and Jericho, and Cesaro goes to the top rope, and a big double axe handle there, and now Cesaro going for the cover. 1, no, a kick out by Chris Jericho. This is going to be a great match, it looks like. And now Jericho, no, Cesaro is able to counter and just slamming his face up against the canvas. And now, will that be all? 1? No, Jericho kicks out. And now, Cesaro working on that arm, dragging Jericho over to the ropes now. I just have a feeling it's going to be a pretty good match. And a nice move there, hanging Jericho up against the ropes. Cesaro looking to take advantage. But now, Jericho kind of shoves him off and says, come get me. And now Jericho, Irish whip. But Cesaro reverses, and a nice German suplex there. So now Jericho gets up. Cesaro waits for him to go up. Jericho blocks the right hand, controlling the arm, and a nice kick there. Now Chris Jericho, no, Cesaro with a front face lock, and a nice European uppercut. Cesaro likes to utilize that, and a hard Irish whip goes under Jericho. Look at that slam again that he used earlier in the match. This time, no, he is going for the pin. 1, no, a kick out by Jericho. Tell you what, Jericho has some pretty good resiliency. He is resilient, kicking out at 1 after all this punishment. And also Cesaro just going with repeated European uppercuts and now just straight right hands. Cesaro's wanting to turn this into a brawl, and it looks like Jericho's wanting to turn it into a wrestling match. And a big boot, but no! Jericho blocks it. A nice move there. And a chop. And another chop. Backing Cesaro into the corner. And now it looks like Jericho's trying to throw him outside the ring again. A springboard drop kick. 3rd time Jericho's utilized it in the match. I believe Cesaro's taking the upper hand each time he has. So I don't know why Jericho keeps continuing to do this. And Cesaro throws him back inside of the ring now. Ooh, and a big boot there. A devastating big boot to Chris Jericho. And now Cesaro with a front face lock. And a nice throw there by the Swiss Sensation. It has been decently even, but I think that overall Antonio Cesaro has been in control of this matchup. It has been a pretty good match. And now Jericho. A nice move there. And now let's see what happens. Jericho kind of just staring each other down, respecting the competitors. But now Cesaro dragging him on the other side. And Jericho throws out Cesaro. Oh, and a nice shoulder tackle there, hitting off of our announce table. And now you see Jericho kicking with the back and a big boot. A big boot by Antonio Cesaro. And now Cesaro with his shoulder tackle there. Referee at 3. What's going to happen now? And Cesaro, no, not on the outside. Not on the outside. A big German. What a suplex there. Referee at 6. Can Chris Jericho get back inside the ring? Referee at 7. Jericho comes back in. Oh, and the big uppercut. The big uppercut connects. That's got to be all. 1, 2. No, Jericho kicks out. Chris Jericho kicks out. What resiliency from Y2J. That German suplex on the outside and then kicks out. But now Jericho can go on the attack. All the punishment Chris Jericho had suffered. And now Cesaro in a big elbow drop. Jericho absorbing this punishment. 1. No, and a kick out. What's going to happen here? Cesaro, I think he's very mad that Jericho kicked out. He's just attacking Jericho. And a spinning neck breaker there. They're looking for the pin again. Yeah, and another pin. 1, 2. No! Jericho kicks out again. Now Cesaro's beating him up. And a code breaker! Code breaker by Chris Jericho! He caught Cesaro completely off guard. And now Jericho. 1, 2. No! Cesaro kicks out! What a match! Cesaro kicks out of the code breaker. Jericho kicked out of that big swoosh uppercut. Both of these men putting their bodies to the line. And a big power bomb. 1, 2. No, Jericho kicks out again. Resilience is a key for Chris Jericho. These two men putting on a tremendous match. Probably the best match of the night, definitely so far. And Cesaro looking to run against the ropes, but Chris Jericho catches him with a neck breaker. What a match. And now Jericho. No, Cesaro with a big boot again. And now Cesaro cracking his head. What's he thinking here? Another big boot? No. Jericho catches him with the Dragon Slam. And Cesaro rolls outside of the ring. What's going to happen here? Cesaro now enters the ring, just trying to make sure, stalling Jericho offense. Oh, and now some big right hands and a uppercut. Now throwing him against the ropes, and they just collide here. Both of these men got to be worn down. Probably the next big move will win it. And that might do it there. A big boot, but no, Cesaro isn't done. Looking for that throw again that he did on the outside. And that throw connects. This has got to be it for Jericho. And now Cesaro cracking his head again. And this has been a tremendous match, folks. But Cesaro going for the neutralizer. And if he can hit this, it's all over. And it is. Y2J put up a great fight. Even Antonio Cesaro kicked out of a code breaker. Y2J took that big slam on the outside. Y2J took that European uppercut. What a match. But in the end, Antonio Cesaro wins. And even though Chris Jericho got defeated, he looked amazing. And this might have made Kane's job even harder as he took Cesaro to the limit. You know, maybe if they did this match again, Jericho could have won. Maybe he needs to be in contention as well for an Intercontinental Championship match. He didn't get the job done, but it was a great match. A nice neutralizer. I mean, when Cesaro hit that slam on the outside and he hit the uppercut, I thought it was it. But no, and then Chris Jericho caught Cesaro completely off by surprise with the code breaker, and that still wasn't it. It took Cesaro to take a neutralizer to win. What an amazing match. A great night of action here so far on PIWL Heatwave Episode 1. Remember, we have 2 more matches tonight. Brock Lesnar versus Evan Bourne is next after the commercial break.